had people come up to me and they're like, you're so different. Like, why? How? And I'm like, the Lord showed me. The Lord molded me into who I am, and he made me this person who's confident in him and confident in what I believe.
Right.
And passionate about the things that he gave me as those gifts. And so I've gotten to grow in those passions, whether it's, being able to love people and serve people well, to even use my creative side in a more practical way, like growing in my photography and learning how to do design and being able to capture moments in a way that people can look back on and have memories of. Like, those are the things that I love to do. And I've gotten to learn those passions of mine in all areas of my life.
Yeah. It's been really cool to see you, like, grow in a lot of those things. Because those are not some things that, like, I would have, like, naturally even, like, learned about at all. But, like, the way you've, like, you kept, like, trying to get better with photography and photos and just how you were consistent with a lot of things. That was really cool. I feel like I usually do things for, like, a short season, and then I don't. Then I'm like, okay, that's it. But you just, like, consistently continued to strengthen the things that God has put in you, which has just been really cool to see you grow like that.
Yeah, I tend to have a pretty short attention span, right? So my whole life I was like, oh, well, I just moved from one thing to another. But looking back, it's like, okay, I might have a short attention span as far as, like, doing activities and such. But I can see consistently, like, the things God has made me passionate about. Like, this is just a small example, but I've always loved to write, do photography, and be able to capture memories and put them in a place where I can look back on them and share them with people. And one of the ways I did that is through a blog that I had throughout high school and college. It was called Keep Growing. I ended up recently writing my last post for it, kind of a goodbye letter to the blog, but just kind of talking about how I grew from this, like, kid who didn't know what she was doing, but just wanted to learn and do the things that she liked, into who I am now. And as I was, like, ending that blog and thinking about, okay, this is all the ways I've grown, and, like, look at how my photography's improved, and look at all these lessons the Lord's showing me and how I'm writing even better.
Right.
I thought back to when I was in 3rd grade. I had my dad set up a blog for me because I wanted to learn how to do it. And so, like, those things that God made me passionate about have been there, and God's been allowing me to grow in them and use my talents for them and accomplish some of the things that little kid me would have loved to do but didn't really think that I could. Yeah. So that's been really cool to learn about. And it's helped me grow in my faith too, just seeing how the Lord's orchestrated my life and how he's been there every step of the way and helped form and shape, well, not helped, but formed and shaped me into who I am.
That was him.
Yeah. And so I was really thankful for that and for everything that I've gotten to learn through all of those different things that I've been really passionate about. Yeah.
It's good. No, it's been good.
So kind of just like to round out this last episode of ours, we wanted to, of course, do our verse of the day segment, and so we decided to go back to the verse that we did in our first episode, which was our theme verse.
Yeah, it's kind of our theme verse. Yeah.
2 Corinthians 4:7.
Yes. And that verse says, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us." I really do like this verse. When you put it on there, I, like, had to look it up again, which is kind of embarrassing, but here we are. I got to see it all anew. I was like, oh, yes, I love this. But yeah, this whole idea just that we have a treasure and that it is Christ and that it is his Spirit, but that with Jesus Christ and with the Holy Spirit, we have been given access to so many things, to strength, to peace, to joy. We also have, been promised that we're going to endure hard things too.
Right.
But that even in the midst of those, we have a treasure, we have a resource that is not going to fade, that is not going to go away, but it's going to last. And I think we need to be reminded of that sometimes because we forget that we do have something that's precious and that's valuable and that we can go to and lean on daily and hourly and every minute if we need something. And
it's so important because it's not from us. Like what we've said throughout this episode, God God's power is in us, and we need to follow him. And he gives us the passions and the talents and the qualities that he wants us to have to be able to bring glory to him. But all of it goes back to him. None of our lives, none of the things we've accomplished, none of the ways that the Lord has used us would be possible without the Lord.
Yeah.
His power is what makes it a treasure, and that's not from us. And so just reminding ourselves of that often, and especially, as we began this podcast and picked this verse out, that was our goal. We wanted to be using these things as a way to honor and glorify God, and to be able to show his power, and that we don't even have that power. We wanted to shine our light on him.
Yeah.
And now, looking back at some of the ways that we've had the privilege of hearing how this podcast has, influenced people's lives or just encouraged people at the right time, we can see, like, God did that. He answered that prayer. He allowed us to be the jars of clay to store the treasure that shows his power over everything. Because sometimes we would say things and we're like, I didn't even remember saying that, but like, that
I don't
helped.
remember what we were talking about at all.
There was a time in my life where I was listening back to the podcast episode because I just needed to listen to it to, make sure it was edited right and, technical things like that. But I was listening back to it and I was going through like a hard time, and I said something and I was like, I needed to hear that. But I don't remember saying that. Like, the Holy Spirit really spoke
through you
to speak to me because I am a vessel for him and his power. And I just think that is super cool. Yeah. And as we continue on in our lives, we just want to keep that ideal in that verse and just keep doing that. So
yeah. Well, we hope that this discussion has encouraged you and given some truth that you can hold on to in this coming season or this current season of your life.
We have absolutely loved getting to share our hearts with each and every one of you every time that we've gotten to do this podcast. Yeah. And we're just really thankful.
Yeah, we are so thankful for everyone who has reached out to us, who has encouraged us, people who have walked down the sidewalk at Mobab and been like, there's the JaM fam. We love you guys, and we just thank you that you have made this possible, that you guys have just supported us and everything. It's meant a lot.
I mean, even just like, if you had told little kid Maddie, hey, you're going to be able to accomplish these things and there's going to be people cheering you on and the Lord's going to use it. Like, I'm just so thankful and just so full of gratitude and love for all of you guys for supporting us and just helping us chase this little dream and make something a reality that little me would have never even imagined. So we love you guys so much, and thank you so much.
And thank you to Shock Studios for letting us do our last episode in this very nice studio. We greatly appreciate it.
Shock City Podcast Studios.
Yes.
Shout out to you guys. David Gillum. He was on our podcast before. Go listen to his episode.
He was. Yeah. Just continue to spread the truth and love of Christ, and we will see you guys around.
See you later, JaM fam.